Welcome to Brunchin with Vaughn. We're here on Fremont East in downtown Las Vegas at the market, where we're going to be having brunch at the Bronze Cafe with Jeremey Martin from Downtown Faith. Welcome to another fun episode of Brunchin with Vaughn. This week I have Jeremey Martin and TJ Ward. Jeremey Martin is with Downtown Faith. It's a new church here in downtown Las Vegas. They have a brand new brick and mortar, and TJ's here to help them open up. He's here from all the way in North Carolina. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, glad to be here.
I'm excited about your new church. You guys have a great new brick and mortar. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we actually had the opportunity to partner with Ninth Bridge School, which is a downtown project founded and great space. It's actually an old Baptist church, so it kind of fits well to do a church in there, and they've allowed us to store our stuff in there and use their multi-purpose room. A great partnership already with them, and so we're excited to kind of be in there and have our regular gatherings every Sunday at 11 o'clock.
And that's right down the street from where we're at. We're here at the market, which is on Fremont Street. They have a great new cafe called Bronze Cafe, which has this awesome new brunch, and we're going to be tasting all this great food here in just a minute. But first, let's talk about what brought you all the way over here from North Carolina.
Well, Jeremy and I are really good friends, and he and I actually started a church in North Carolina together, and so I wanted to be here to support him. He started this church here in downtown Las Vegas.
Now, you guys look pretty young. You know, when you think of people who have started multiple churches, I picture like really old pastors. How old were you guys when you first started the church in North Carolina?
Let's see, it was about 6 years ago, so I was 37.
Yeah, and I was 28.
And
34.
That's young for a pastor and ambitious as well, right? And traditionally?
Absolutely. Yeah, usually people are more seasoned, I guess, when they start a church, but I think these days it's happening with people who are younger and younger because they have a desire just to be able to spread a message of hope in all different kinds of communities. So
I think it's great. Yeah, I think you're never too young to spread the word and
There
kind
you
of
go.
give people hope and
Absolutely.
and build a community around it. So I'm excited for your new church. You have a lot of fun projects up ahead,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's start to dig in. We don't want to,
Well, hold on. Before we dig in, we have to bless the food, right?
Yes,
So,
of course, please.
There we go. God, thank you for this food. Thank you for this time. Pray that you would bless this food to our bodies. Thank you for the bronze. Thank you for Bond. Amen.
I love that. Thank you. We're going to eat some really healthy breakfast here. So I was told that these are some really unique, interesting dishes. We have a paleo pancakes, which I'm really into right now because I'm trying to do low carb, you know.
There you go.
New year, new me. And it has a protein based flour, but not really flour, of eggs and banana and some chicken sausage.
Yep.
And we have this Benedict, you recommended it.
Yeah, Eggs Benedict Arnold, which has a sweet potato hash, pico de gallo, corn sauce, pumpkin seeds on top, and a over medium egg.
Do you work here part-time?
No, but I've eaten that multiple times and I love it.
I'm so excited about it. Yeah, we're going to eat kind of family style. We're all
Yeah,
friends here,
absolutely.
right? And then this is the shashuka, which is an Israeli dish that's tomato-based with
Yes.
eggs and some pita bread, right?
Yes, some grilled garlic pita. I
This
think
is
you
interesting.
said.
I've never seen anything like this, so I'm excited to try it. So
amazing.
let's dig in and chat, you guys.
Yeah,
Let's see. I'll be the judge of this.
go ahead.
The sweet potato. Is this one vegan? Well, I guess it can't be vegan with eggs, but it's like a vegetarian.
Yeah, vegetarian, yep.
It's really good.
You can also get that with the vegan tofu scramble. I can't imagine it being better though.
That's really good. I'm not into tofu. Don't judge me, vegans. But
this is definitely amazing.
How is that?
One of my favorite breakfast foods is pancakes, and I'm trying to eat low carb as well, so this is kind of right up my alley. You'll
Yeah,
love
that-
this.
gotta try it. I'll do it again. Here, you try this one.
What were your thoughts on this?
It's really good. I will try this as well. Oh, we have mimosas coming. The really cool thing about these mimosas is there's this awesome juice machine orange juice machine. And it squeezes a whole orange
Thanks, David.
and the juice right out in front of you. So we're going to be looking at that shortly when we do a little grocery shopping.
Would you try the peanut?
No, because I'm trying to do low carb. I'm doing all my I'm doing all my carbs in champagne this year.
Okay.
That's my resolution.
What a resolution.
Champagne carbs only. Well, cheers to an awesome brunch.
A toast to downtown faith.
Toast to downtown faith. You can tell the difference with that fresh squeezed orange juice, right? Tired of squeezing your own oranges? Well, your worries are over. Head on over to the market because we were talking about that fresh squeezed orange juice in our mimosas this morning, and this is how we got it. You can watch this thing work. You just pile all of your oranges right in here. It feeds it to this contraption, which I don't know what it does. It just squeezes them. But let's give this a shot. Press. Okay. Read the instructions. Don't pull, press. I'm that girl that can't get in most stores because I pushed. Oh!
Look at it.
That is so cool. Now, let's talk about your church a little bit.
Okay.
New church in North Carolina.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yeah.
So, what got you into, preaching and becoming a pastor? Did you have like an epiphany one day and you're like, I need to spread the word? Did you have a life-changing event, or is it something you grew into?
I was always involved in church as a volunteer, and so the more opportunities I got to serve within the church, the more I realized I had a gifting for some of that, especially on the communication side. And so actually the pastor of the church I was attending asked me to pray about coming on staff with him, and so I did, and was there for a couple of years. And during that time, just really felt like God was leading us, our family, to do something unique and something new in a different place. And so that's kind of the short version of how we ended up planting a church in Winston-Salem.
Right, and you helped with that as well.
Yeah, so I was living in Las Vegas doing an internship with a church, and in 2009, 2010, and at the end of the internship, they wanted to offer me a staff position, but I really felt like, actually, my wife and I flipped a coin and it landed on Winston-Salem. So instead of staying here, we moved across the country to North Carolina. We're from back east, so we had moved Vegas a year before that, and so we moved across the country again.
Wow,
our
that's
second
a
year
lot.
of marriage, and helped them start a church, and it was a blast. Some of our dearest friends are still in that church and at that place, but we were still only there, it seemed like, for a very short time, just a little over a year, and then we moved back to Vegas because we had a real heart for just the city of Vegas. I love this place.
And why downtown? Why was it important for you to build a church downtown?
Yeah, I felt like the revitalization was going on, but I also felt like there was just that was an element of something that was missing in downtown. And I think anytime you're trying to make a place to live, work, and play, a community, one of the things communities have is churches. And so I think there's not just our church, but I think there should be other churches and other things connecting people to the spiritual side of life and to connecting people to community that way. And downtown just seemed like the coolest possible place to live and to raise a family, which sounds weird to a lot of people, but for my wife and I, it kind of fit our MO. And so we came downtown, and we've lived down here almost 2 years now, but we've been working on the church stuff for right at a year, and we're excited to kind of finally be up and running and kind of doing that, and everything from our pub theology to our laundry projects.
Which I love
to
your
our
pub
gathering.
theology.
Yeah.
I still need to go. I promise. I have more free time now,
There
so
you
I
go.
definitely will be there. Pub theology is where you go to a local brewery here downtown and sit down with your peers, and you guys just kind of talk faith and life. And
Yeah, we try to hit cultural things that are going on. So an especially spicy conversation happened right around the election time. We had a pub theology come up.
How did that go? Did anybody brawl? Was there a bar brawl?
It wasn't a bar brawl, but that actually, more than any other one, kind of got a little dicey, a little bit more divisive. People standing firmly on certain lines, which was. It was a different feel that night than normal.
And
it's
it's
a
kind
little
of
more
indicative
low-key.
to what's actually going on in our entire country right now,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, that's what you're doing. You're just getting a diverse group of people. I mean, we have people just of all different kinds of beliefs that show up to that because they think it's a great conversation to have.
Right, it is.
And that's part of the culture of downtown is people want to talk about what do they believe. And so pub theology just gives us a space to do that.
So I've known Jeremy for a while now. He is one of our funny guys. He does monologues, stand-up comedy, and I think you're hilarious
Thank you.
Good taste too. I really appreciate how you have a sense of humor and can kind of push the envelope as a pastor, but also as a comedian, you don't take it too far, or you could be funny without being super offensive, which I think a lot of comedians can't do. Now you've known Jeremy since you guys were teenagers, right?
Well, since I was a kid,
Well, since he was a kid, so since adolescence and childhood. TJ, do you think he's funny?
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and usually like to surround myself with funny people, and so it worked out really well. Right? Absolutely.
Now here's a question I have. Do you guys think God has a sense of humor? Because looking at my life, I think he does.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I think my life is evidence of the fact that God does have a sense of humor.
Because a lot of churches and a lot of religions take such a serious stance on God and Jesus or any aspect of the church. Do you find it hard in some church communities or even in your own? Like, where do you find that balance of, being serious and funny?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question because for me, so I've always been funny, like the funny chubby guy, in my group. Actually, I lost a bunch of weight at one point and everyone was like, you're not funny anymore. So but I've always kind of balanced, when I got into church, when I preach or share the message at church, I'm not necessarily funny. So it's been an interesting dynamic to me. I think I try to make it interesting, and sometimes naturally some funny things or sarcastic things will come out. But I think church should be fun. There should be funny elements of it. We should laugh together. I think that's part of worship, is laughing together. And so I think church should have that element of celebration and fun. But it's interesting is I'm not necessarily funny when I talk, and I've always found that to be weird.
And that's your balance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you can talk to somebody, be taken seriously, but also be able to crack a joke and not offend everybody.
Yes.
I think those are great qualities. Well, we're going to be back shortly here at the Brunch Cafe. We're going to talk a little bit more about downtown faith. We're going to talk about faith in general and how it affects downtown and all of Las Vegas. It's not just for downtown.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back, guys. Well, we're grocery shopping now for downtown faith, and I just happened to come across the beer aisle first. I love beer. I like almost all of these beers, but can I ever bring too much beer to church?
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't want to bring one of each,
So pick
certainly.
one and just get like 2 cases?
Yeah.
I mean, how much beer is too much? How many people are there?
Oh yeah, if you're passing it out, that would be plenty. Yeah. So but no, we try and teach moderation. That's why we do pub theology. We're not against drinking, but certainly if you're getting drunk all the time, which I think if you bought one of each and took it home yourself, you'd probably have a problem at that point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if you drink different beers all the time, that is a problem. You
Yeah.
want to stick to one thing, you'll have a hangover. You get sick. Yeah, you'll have a horrible hangover if you drink different stuff. So stick to
There you
one
go.
beer. Good lesson.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And moderation.
Absolutely moderation.
What is this moderation? Who is this moderation you keep telling me about? Is this part of the congregation?
I think it's part of your consciousness or your conscience.
Talk about that very much about moderation.
The Bible talks about how a person should not be drunk, but it doesn't say you can't drink alcohol. And so we want to make sure that our people understand that when you are under the influence of alcohol, sometimes you don't say things that you would normally say, or you do things you wouldn't normally do. And so the idea is to allow the Holy Spirit to control you rather than any type of alcohol, but to consume it is totally appropriate. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheer among
We'll
friends.
grab a few of these on the way out. I like champagne.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, we're here
As
at
I
round
finish off
2.
this,
We
part
have
of the
3 new
breakfast
dishes
food.
here, brunch style. We have a breakfast burrito with some sweet potato hash. We have chilaquiles, which is one of my favorite brunch meals ever. which is a tortilla chip soaked in salsa with eggs, cheese, sour cream. And we have a chimichanga, which is basically a breakfast burrito, but deep fried. Everybody loves anything fried. I have two Southern boys with me, so I know that this is one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, it's got a sweet potato sauce on top that is just makes it perfect. It just sets it off.
So let's talk a little bit more about Downtown Faith. People probably wonder, what religion is this? You know, you're starting a church. What religion is Downtown Faith?
So yeah, I do that. I get that question a lot. It's usually one of the first few questions that when I tell people I'm starting a church, after they look really confused, they ask me what it is. Christian sometimes doesn't do it justice. It's not like a complete answer. Sometimes the term evangelical has a lot of weight to it in a lot of places. So I tell people pretty simply, we follow Jesus and we help other people do the same. And so we look like kind of everything that we do and that we believe revolves around Jesus, his life, his death. We believe in the resurrection, and we kind of pattern our life after him when it comes to the things that he did, the way he treated people, the way he talked to people, the things he taught. I believe that the church should kind of be like a peek into what it looks like if Jesus is in charge, which is hard sometimes because there's still a lot of people who can screw it up, because we're not perfect. So if we want to, we didn't even put church in our name. It's just Downtown Faith because we want people of all perspectives to feel like they're welcome to come in and hear what we believe, but also discuss what they believe with each other. Because I feel like when you get those juices flowing, when people begin to discuss the spiritual idea of the day, that you actually find a lot of common ground. And when we follow Jesus, I believe that's a great way to help people follow Jesus that may not know what they believe either. And it's a place where they can come feel comfortable, not necessarily believing in anything, to be there.
Right. So it's less intimidating.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to finish eating our brunch, and then, every new church needs a few supplies, and luckily we're in the middle of a grocery store. So we'll be right back. I'm grocery shopping for Downtown Faith. I want to make sure that everybody there is comfortable when they get there. There's enough food and beverage to go around. Now, for communion, is there a rule, like just one sip per person, or can you bring your own bottle?
You could bring your own bottle, I guess.
But I really like champagne too.
Yeah. I think we meet around brunch time anyway, so that also might be appropriate.
So I'm glad you're not kosher there, right?
No.
I love bacon.
Not sure why we would have bacon at church, but I can't see a reason not to. Just at our hospitality table, just had coffee and bacon strips.
That's what I'm talking about. And of course, champagne that you have to bring in your secret thermos, because there's no drinking on campus. Okay, good. All right, I want to thank the Market, Bronze Cafe, and these two fellas for brunching with me today. Now tell everybody where they can find you online.
Yeah, so me personally at jmart316 on all the social medias, and our church at DTLV Faith. And on all the social medias, and dtlvfaith.com. Our website is constantly updated with new content from things we're doing and events and things that we're going to be doing. We'd love for you to get involved and get invested in everything that's going on with Downtown Faith.
And how about you, TJ? Where can we find New Church?
newchurchnc.org, and then at New Church NC for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and MySpace. But not really MySpace.
Oh, I was going to go on MySpace and friend you.
Okay.
I want to be in your top 5.
Definitely.
Okay, that's all that matters. All right, so look for us on MySpace, Brunchin with Vaughn. And again, thank you to everybody at the Market.